Well, we were prepared to an intimate professional conversation with professionals. It's a bit different. This is a very unusual role for me, to be the moderator. I thought it would be really weird to ask Tony about how it was working with me. In the first more or less half an hour, I would just ask him about his different stages and then film art, filmmaking, about his experiences. Again, focusing on professional issues because this is the purpose of our meeting. And then in the second half an hour, you can ask questions. Please, again, your questions should be about our profession, the filmmaking. Okay? Here in Budapest, you are a native figure, a film lovers for many, many years, know very well the films you work in, and therefore I don't need to initiate them into your body of work, but I am sure that nobody knows, because it was absolutely new for me as well, about the streaming time in television at the very beginning. How was it?
I spent 1 year in acting school that run by a TV station in Hong Kong and started my career in the 80s, which is the golden age of television in Hong Kong. So, and I'm very lucky. I was quite successful in my first TV series. So I have a lot of chances to do different kinds of TV series. But at that time, I think I was always overwhelmed. Because what I think is, the TV is so small. If you don't use your body language, or sometimes people cannot tell your emotions or your feelings. It's different from watching a movie in a theater. So that's how I started.
Was it also a bit of an expectation coming from the film school, the professors, the style of the works you participated in this series?
I think it's because of TV series. So we are taught like that, to act like that. Until I worked with Ho Xiaoxian the first time, The City of Sadness in Taiwan. I really appreciate the non-professionals, the performance of the non-professionals. At that time, I tried to tone down my acting, and I want to act like that, but with the knowledge of acting.
Was there any memorable amateur who touched you, who you remember in this book, in City of Sadness?
I think my counterparts, the actress, and she's so talented and she's so good, but she's a non-professional. I learned a lot from her, I think. I learned a lot how powerful that she expressed her emotions and feelings without overacting on it. She just, I think it just comes from the bottom of her heart.
Was it with her and later with your partners a sort of changing of energies, mutually helping each other to go deep? Did it work also with an professional?
Yes, with different. In the 90s is the golden age of Hong Kong. So I have a lot of chances to work with great directors and good actors, and I think it's a very good training for me.
It was really a very, very intense time in Hong Kong cinema, and I remember being in Budapest, also sometime in the 80s, also in the 90s, to wait for these films, to watch them again and again. And you feel the intensity. I suppose it was also in the work, in the texture of work as well. How can we imagine, let's say, normal shooting day with first I thought to ask you, how was it, the rhythm of the pace in television, and later in Montpellier or something?
Oh, in TV station, it's really crazy. It's really, really crazy. I work like 16 hours on average every day for years, because everybody wants me to be in every TV series. So there's a lot of work to do. I just did one right after the other, and their pace is really fast, and they do like one episode in 1.2 days. So can you imagine? And after TV, we usually work like 12 hours a day in movies for 3 months.
This is until now also in Hungary the average.
Yeah, and yeah, that's it.
And in these sort of intense times, how was this Hong Kong film community? Were there places you gathered? Were there friendships or production after production?
Actually, we know everyone in the entertainment business, because at that period of time we produced like 300 movies every year. So they need a lot of actors and actresses. So we almost know each other, and we work like many movies a year.
And the social life?
We don't have any social life. To me, besides work, I don't want to hang out with people in the same business. I try to be myself.
After this big change in City of Sadness, how you were able to stop or tame down the television, all that grades and to go towards other projects and other directors?
Yeah, I have lots of chances to work in different movies, and I try very hard to tone down. But somehow, after, I don't know after how many years, after 6 or 7 years, suddenly one day I lost my interest in acting. I don't want to act anymore because I cannot find any breakthrough in my performances. I don't know why, I just don't see any breakthrough at all. And I lost my interest in acting, and I had planned to quit this job too.
Wow.
But suddenly I met someone called Wong Kar-wai. And we did a movie together called Days of Being Wild. I'm supposed to be in part 1. I did a lot of shooting, but because of some personal reasons, after 2 weeks shooting in a special place in Kowloon that doesn't exist anymore. It's like a maze.
It doesn't exist, and I have seen it in the
You seen it? I am not sure. Recently they made a movie about that place too, but they just built a set. But we just go to the real place to shoot, and it was like a maze. You cannot find where you want to go without following all the lighting.
Actually, when I visited Hong Kong, I went to this place. It existed yet, and with my phone, I tried to recreate the movement inside, and I sent to my two best friends.
Yeah, I was there for 2 weeks, but somehow for some personal reasons I cannot continue to do the shooting for that movie. So they walk away shift to Leslie, and then makes me to reappear on part 2. And when I went to the premiere, I watched that movie with Wong Kar-wai and the other actors. I saw myself at the very end, and I never imagined I can act like that. And I think, wow, this director knows how to lead me into a character. Just a 3-minute master shot. I just did 3 times. I cannot even remember. In that movie, I was a gambler who woke up at late night and prepared to go to gambling. After that, I think I can work with this director. Then we start our 20 years relationship together.
I think I'm not the only one, but for me, it seems always watching you in Wong Kar-wai's films that he found the person behind whom he can hide, and through you he can be very sincere and share even his most hidden secrets. Do you remember your first meeting with him?
No. What I can remember is at the very beginning we used to hang out every night in his office, discussing listen a lot of movies, and he will play a lot of music, and he used to show me a lot of music, and we share our favorite music together, and we talk a lot. That's what I remember, but I don't remember how we first met.
Was it two of you or a little group?
Just two of us. Just two of us. Sharing, because I think when you decided to work with someone for a long period of time, you have to let him know who you exactly are. So I told him almost everything. And yeah, that's why.
Wong Kar-wai made films from tiny money, very free, very how to say, just making on the go, and then huge productions as well. Very kept his freedom, but nevertheless, it was a much bigger machinery. If you compare Grandmaster and one of the early films you made together, what was the change in the approach or in the way you prepared and then you worked together on these different films?
Maybe we can start with Chunky Express. At that time, I was not in the list. Suddenly one day he called me, can I join them for that movie? I said I only have 2 weeks because I'm going somewhere else like Hong Kong. So we just started shooting. At that time, he already has no script. And we just had this script for that day, but we're doing really fast, really quick. But end up, it's not it's quite an interesting movie. But after Chongqing Express, he starts taking more time on production, much more, and he seems like sometimes he didn't know what he wants. So we tried different approach. So that's why we shoot a lot of footage. And I have no idea what the story is because we tried so many approaches with different actors and actresses, maybe somehow at the end they are not happening in the movie. And maybe one scene we shoot in 3 different seasons. So we tried to figure it out during editing. So yeah, that's how it goes in between. And when we do Grandmasters, we did a lot of research. And we spent much more time on preparation. And everything went pretty smooth and pretty what he wants, I think Grandmasters is one of my favorite Wong Kar movie. But for foreigners, because it's about the martial arts world that Asians or like me, Chinese, from Hong Kong, I used to read that kind of books, martial arts books, when I was very young. So it's easy for me to understand the world of martial arts. For foreigner, maybe it's a little bit difficult, but to me, Grandmasters, it's one of my favorite movies of Hong Kong.
It is a huge epic, and was really deep, and in the sense in the philosophy of martial art, of this grandmaster, who was a real person. Could you speak about it a bit, about him, and how you personally prepared?
Because I cannot find too much information from this real character, but he is the master of Bruce Lee, and Bruce Lee had written a lot of books about his thinking of Kung Fu, his philosophy of Kung Fu. So I try to blend these two characters together because it makes sense, because he's his student. He passed on something to him, so he has this philosophy towards Kung Fu. And before shooting, I spent like half a year to practice the special kind of Kung Fu. At first, the teacher asked me to practice like 6 hours a day. I said, no way. I can't practice 6 hours a day. 3 hours is a lot to me at that time. So, yeah, that's how I prepare for that movie. And I learned about a lot of Kung Fu from Bruce Lee. Before, Kung Fu to me is not that deep. But after I read so many books from Bruce Lee, wow, it's some other thing.
Can you translate a bit about what really touched you, what you found deep also in the thinking, in the philosophy?
I think because Bruce Lee is studying philosophy, and he studied Taoism too. And I remember one thing he said in a book. He said, when you are facing an opponent, it's like dancing with him. You are not trying to punch on him, but whenever he went wrong, then you can hit him. It's like dancing. It's like keeping harmony with your opponent.
When I met Munkara in Hong Kong, in his office behind his desk, there was a poster of Chungking Express. And I thought, oh wow, I remember when I've seen that movie in Budapest, in Dolby Museum. There was a bit of sadness in his eyes, and he thought, oh wow, how free it was then in that time, filmmaking. He missed that sort of freedom. Somehow, as I imagine Hong Kong in the 90s, for me, of course, in a very different film language, but very similar to Nouvelle Vague, Paris, France, that sort of rush of freedom and let's try out everything and whatever. It was nice to see that it was also important for him. In Grandmaster, so it was a very conscious preparation and very long preparation, and physically very, very demanding. How was it? Because just to watch these very, very elaborate scenes in the rain. Even without the rain, it's very, very demanding, very intense. But in these heavy clothes in the rain, and I know already because I read from you, but I don't think that they know if there were stunts, if there was anyone standing instead of you. So please speak a bit.
That scene, it's a nightmare. At first, we have another director who did all the stunts, and he finished that scene, the opening fight scene, ring scene, in 3 days. And after that, Onkara said, "No, we have to do it again." And I said, "Okay." Then he decided to have rain. At first, we don't have the rain, and he wants that effects with the rain. And I remember they built some barrier to hold this amount of water on set. And it's very, very slippery. And I asked our director, can we change our shoes to sneakers? He said no, because the audiences will notice that. But it's very, very slippery. And I remember we spent 30 days to finish that scene, that single scene. Every night from 6 o'clock to 6 o'clock the next day. And you kept wet all night long. I remember I went straight to hospital after the collision, and I was suffering from bronchitis. And I have to do all the stunts by myself. It's pretty physically demanding because what I love to do master shot. And just like what you did in my lecture scene, in different angles, then you do the master shot. Somehow I have to fight like 20 people. It's easy for the stunt man because they only need to remember 2 or 3 moves. But I have to remember, like, if there are 20, then I have to remember 40 or 60 moves. So somehow, sometimes at that middle, I don't know what to do. Someone reminds me, on top, hit me in the face. It's a very memorable scene. Yeah, it's very beautiful when you watch the movie, but it's horrible. It's horrible. A lot of hard work and a lot of discipline. At the very beginning, no one needs to wear something under their costume, even the stuntman. Then day after day, someone starts to put some plastic bag under their costume because it was so cold all night long. If you are wet all night long, it's very, very cold.
And just to compare, for example, this shooting with your Hollywood experience, Shang-Chi, how would you compare it to? I don't speak now about the steps or.
Actually, I was quite mad at the very beginning because they didn't tell me that I need to do that much action scenes. If I know at the very beginning, I will start training. Even I will start training myself for a few months. But after I went to Sydney, they asked us to train. And you know, there are lots of action scenes. I don't know whether you watched that Marvel movie or not. There are a lot of action
I'm
scenes.
sure. Can you just raise your hands? Who saw it?
Okay. So there's not much. and then they only asked me to train after I went to Sydney. They think I can do all the stunts in 2 weeks' time, 2 weeks training. So it's pretty not very well organized. And but I still do the stunts by myself because I used to do that by myself when I was 16. So it's not a big problem for me.
Were you ever hurt during your career?
Of course. I broke my arms twice in Grandmasters, and I did suffer a lot of injuries when I was at TV station because they used to give the stunts then to some elder actors and actresses. So I have to do stunts by myself.
I knew that you have some war wounds, yeah?
Yes.
So to also share this. And beside the director, because it's you spoke quite often about your very strong relationship with directors in the film team. Do you have a lines? How do you react to the camera? What sort of relationship you have with the rest of the team?
I always treat myself as a member of the team, so I treat them as a team. There's no hierarchy. I'm not a star in the team. I'm just one of them, and I just need to focus on my part. If I can, then I'll try to help them if they need me.
It was actually a really beautiful experience for our whole team and big part of the team because we worked in Germany, was a German team on Silent Friends, that everyone waited a big international star to arrive and came. Very focused, very humble person, very prepared, always in time, even before. And as for me, my team is really my family. I really respect these people so much for their talent, for their passion. And it was so beautiful to see you from far, to connect with them and to appreciate their work. And you have a big family here as well, in Budapest and in Cologne, in Germany as well.
And I enjoy the working process with you and your crew too. And I used to work like that from the starting of my career in TV until now. I work the same way. I never change. I don't know. I used to be like that. I don't think that's anything special. I think every actor should do it in this way.
It's a very nice and graceful way. I had to check the time. Oh shit.
So my question that 1997 it marked two important things. Happy Together was born, that movie together with Leslie Chung, if I remember correctly, the year, and also that China or Hong Kong went back to China from Great Britain. And I think it was a very special collaboration, Happy Together with you, Wong Kar-wai, and Leslie Chung. And then a couple of years later, he died in a tragical way, and I think in a way it combines two losses. As far as I saw for Hong Kong cinema, going back to China wasn't a gain, but more like a loss. And how these things have an effect on your personal, or not personal, but professional life. And also, if you can mention something about Happy Together, I'm also happy to be here. I've learned a lot with that movie, it's my favorite.
Happy Together. At the very beginning, when Wong Kar-wai asked me to work for him in Happy Together, and I said I'm not sure whether I can play homosexual or not, because I don't know. I don't know whether I can do it or not. And he said, okay, you don't have to be homosexual. And he changed the storyline that my father is okay. And after he had an accident in Argentina, and I go to Argentina, and I found out that he has an affair with a man. And yeah, that's how it started. And then I went to Argentina and spent 3 months there learning tango and Spanish and prepare for my role. And after 2 days shooting, and Wong Kar-wai said, you better play the homosexual one. And I was like, okay, let's try it. And that's how it started. How he made movies before, we don't have a script. I remember every time when I passed by, because we live in the same building, same apartment, and every time I passed by his room, he was there writing the script. So, and also we have different approach. We have an actress that fell in love with me, but somehow it doesn't work. So that actress is not happening. It's not appearing in the movie. And that was the only movie that makes me homesick. I don't know why. We were there for 3-4 months, and maybe because Argentina is like the other end of the world. From Hong Kong to Argentina. So that's my first time I feel homesick. I want to go home. I want to escape from the crew. But yeah. But anyway, we did it. That's how we made Happy Together.
So my question is about the movie. So as I know that your character is a new scientist in this movie and studying perception cognition. So I'd love to know if any insights or discoveries from that research or from the philosophy from the movie still stay with you after the film is completed. Thank you very much.
Of course, every character stays with me for a while. Very much depends on how long I'm in the character. For Wong Kar-wai movie, it takes 3 years, and it takes quite a long time to detach from that character. But I'm still in this professor character now because I don't want to detach, and I feel quite good about being a neuroscientist and professor.
Okay.
Can I give advice to young people about what?
To young people who wants to be filmmakers.
Who want to be what?
Filmmakers, directors, filmmakers,
Director. I
filmmakers.
think first of all, he or she needs to have something to express. He or she has a very special, really special. He has his own thinking of interpret something he or she wants to tell. I cannot be a director because I don't know how. I don't have the talent. But I think passion is very important too, and the way to interpret a film, it's very different from different people. Is it true? How you interpret your film?
I don't.
Passion, and you need to have something you want to tell.
Can I ask something? What was the most surprising directorial decision or instruction or situation? What you lived through? What really surprised you? Apart having to get
Having together really surprised me. Because after so many months of preparation and suddenly he changed his mind and asked me to do another character, and I was like, what can I do? I cannot just leave the whole crew there and leave. So yeah, that's really surprised me. That's the only time. But
finally, after you jumped in it, how was the experience?
the experience is there's no gender. There's nothing about gender. Just about the love relationship between two people. The relationship of two people. So
Yeah, that's how we spectators watch it as well, and so somehow I think in many times in your career you had to just break certain barriers and step out from the comfort zone and try out new things, and while trying during the experience somehow learning a lot.
yes.
Was that a lot of fun?
Yes, and walk away used to push me very hard to get out of my comfort zone. And I think Marvel, and especially this movie Silent Friend, it's somehow at some point in my life that I think I need to step out of my comfort zone, because in the past, like 30 years, I used to work with, I only work with directors I'm familiar with, because I can feel very secure, and with the same crew. But somehow, at this stage, I think I should step out of my comfort zone and try something new.
Yeah, it was definitely different with our little European group. Yeah.
And you've spoken about your experience with Marvel. You mentioned that Hollywood productions tend to leave less rooms for actors to interpret their characters. So working on this film, Silent Friend, with a European director, did you experience more creative freedom? And what was it like? And was the process different for you?
I think it's very different. I haven't made many Hollywood movies, when I can compare this Marvel. It reminds me of working in TV station. It's very fast, and then you have to finish like say 10 shots every day, and you have to finish it 10 shots. the script, but working with Walk Away and even with Ildikó, we are more flexible. Ildikó will, although she'll give me directions, but she will provide a very large playground for me to play around, to even improvise. She gave me a lot of space, so it's much more fun, I think.
I'm very curious about what was the most difficult scene in Ildikó's film. For you, Tom.
For me, in this movie,
Yes.
which is the most difficult scene?
Yes.
I think the lecture scene is the most difficult scene. Because I remember we had a master shot from it. I think we did that shot for 40 times. In different angle. And somehow, sometimes, if I lost my focus, I will forget a line or two. And I feel very embarrassed because there are like 50, 60 students in front of me. And I think this is a matter of ego. And I think you cannot forget any lines. So I have to be very, very focused, especially for a very long master shot. But somehow, if you do it like 20 times, 30 times, you start to be tired, and you are not that in focus. So somehow you will make mistakes, and I think I make a lot of mistakes in that scene. Do I?
No. No, and we didn't shoot with more cameras because each time we adjusted the lights, so yeah, we made it the old-fashioned cinema way, and yeah, it was quite tiring. But we started with the close-ups for this very reason.
Fortunately.
What kind of inspirations motivated you to participate in this movie?
I do this movie mainly because of Ildikó. And I always think the script is not important to me. The director is the most important thing. Because if you give that script to a different person, they will have different interpretation. And I didn't know Ildikó before, and because of this project, I've watched her movies. I've watched On Body and Soul and Story of My Life, and I loved it so much. And I think I really want to work with this director, and especially our first Zoom meeting. I had a very good impression of her, and I always follow my heart, and I believe my instinct. Somehow in our conversation, I think I can trust her, and I think I can work with her. So that's the reason why I took this role.
So you said that working on drums was very physically very hard. How do you compare it to work with John? Because those action scenes seem very physically demanding as well.
Yes, I have did some movie with John Woo, which is physically very demanding. But when I was working with John, I was quite young. So it's very different from Grandmaster. I never think of learning Kung Fu at the age of 30 something. So it's a different thing. When I was young, I can handle all kinds of action scenes. But in Grandmasters, I think I'm a little bit over age to do that kind of scene.
motion, the repetition, the way of shooting the scene was, how is it compared to a Grandmaster action scene?
It's so different. For John, we had a lot of explosion and gunfighting, and it's so different.
I mean, your part, you said that the big race in Grandmaster, it was a month to make. So,
John Woo too, he took quite a long time. I remember when we have a long shooting. We have a long shot with gunfighting from one level of the building to another level of the building. And we need to rehearse one day, and then the next day we shoot. And we can only do one take every day. So it's also very, it's not easy to work for him. And John Woo is very different from other directors. He needs something from the actors. And he won't give you any directions, or he won't give you any idea of your character. He needs you to give him something, so he will have something return. So that's how I work with John. For many times I know he is that kind of director, that he needs inspiration from actors. So you have to be prepared on your own and try to express yourself on set in your way, and then when he catch it, he will develop it.
wow, it's very, very, very interesting, and I think it can be very thrilling. It has something to do with theater. How in theater, you rehearsals, you build something.
Yeah, that's the way I work with John.
So my question was that are there any movies that you are frequently going back to, like we watch them, that are a great inspiration for you? And are there any actors or actresses that you look up to, like many other actors who look up to you?
Oh, I seldom watch myself, so I don't watch my own movies.
Yeah, I meant other movies that inspired you.
I think it depends on what I'm working with. If I'm working with some special movies, then I will watch some related movies to what I'm working on to get inspiration. Like when I was doing Golden Finger in Hong Kong production, then I will go search for some American movies or other movies to get inspiration.
I know that you are a big moviegoer, that you love the experience in cinema with audience to watch films.
Yes, because when I was a kid, my mother has 7 brothers and sisters, and they have their own preferences. And in the 60s, people loved to go to cinema, and the movie business are doing very well. So I have a chance to watch different kinds of movies every week. So you can imagine 7. So I will go to cinema like 3-4 times every week. So I'm used to watch movies in cinema. That's a different kind of experience, and you cannot have it at to cinema to watch movies.
I'm so sorry that we have to finish. Thank you so much, Tony.
Have a wonderful evening. Hope I will have a chance to come to Budapest again to see you guys, to share, and thank you. Thanks.